Hello, hello, Ederson Oliveira here for the DNA Store. Today I have with me Stephen Lim. He's the owner of Revindex, the creator of Revindex Storefront, an e-commerce solution for DNN, and an Evoq Preferred Product. Stephen, bienvenue.
Oh, bienvenue. Good morning and Merry Christmas.
Thank you very much. I see that you are in style there.
Yes, I am. I got my hat. I think the ball's right here, so I keep shifting that.
That looks great.
You got no idea how difficult it is to put on a hat with the headset on. Santa Claus, don't try this at home.
I'll need some instructions about that, later.
Okay.
Okay, Stephen. So let's get things started here. The idea is that we have this conversation to get to know a little bit more about yourself, about your business, your product. So let's start with where are you based?
Okay, well, we're based in Montreal. That is in Canada, for the people who don't know. It is really cold up here. We're on the east coast of Canada, so that means Eastern time zone. And myself, I'm also located not very far away from Montreal.
Perfect, very good. So it's good to have a fellow Canadian around. I think this is the first time that I'm interviewing a Canadian. Yes, good,
Yes,
good.
yes, and we can speak in French. So and they wouldn't know anything we're talking about.
But the thing is that I cannot go beyond bienvenue.
Oh, okay. Well, you can maybe learn merci and bonjour today.
Okay, good. So I have 3 words now. Great. Anyway, let's get down here to business to DNN. So let me start with a little bit of a background about yourself. How did you get started with DNN?
Well, that's an interesting question because I have an engineering background, so I've been doing websites for a very long time. Personally, I also own and have owned many different businesses online, where whether we're selling services or we're selling products. I dabble in real estate as well. So in anything that I've done, somehow DNN has always been the centerpiece of the technology that we use. So whether it's our website that we run it with, or an intranet site, or maybe just a site that we want to show it to a customer, DNN has always been there. And just over the course of the years, we develop a lot of modules, right, to just kind of extend what DNN can do. And from time to time, we get customers asking, oh, that's such a great module, and they can't find anything that can do that on DNN Store or even for free. And they will come to us and ask, can you sell that software to them? And we're usually very reluctant to do that. But I think sometime in 2007, we started packaging some of our modules and we sold it, and it turned out to be a great success. Customers loved it. They really enjoyed our software because we build it with the intent of using it for our own selves. So whatever investment we made in it, we made sure that it is doing the best job it can possibly do, because we're eating our own dog food essentially, right? So with that said, customers enjoy that because you're essentially benefiting from the effort that we're putting in, the extra effort that we're putting in to make sure that it is a solid product that we would use ourselves. So with that, we started selling, and that was in 2007. So we're like 9 years ago, and we've been doing that since. So I love DNN. The whole ASP.NET. It's great. It's been great.
Got it. And I saw a few other modules that you guys have created as well, but it seems to me that your main focus is e-commerce, correct?
Yes, it is. And I think it's partly because e-commerce is such a big and complex industry. Things are constantly changing. I mean, we could be programming e-commerce till the day we die, and there'll be like another 1,000 things that we haven't touched on. That's just how complex it is and how big this is. And at the same time, it's interesting because, you got a lot of little modules that you can build, and, by the time you're done, you pretty much cover 80% of all the things you want to do. But with e-commerce, I mean, it just keeps on going and going and going, and it's just ever-changing. And that makes it interesting because there is a metric to e-commerce, and it is, anyone who's using e-commerce software, it's about how successful is your store or your website or your business is able to sell the products with that software. So there is an underlying metric that is measurable, right? So it tells how good is your software, and you can keep improving on that metric. So that's interesting to us.
Perfect, perfect. So again, you mentioned about eating your own dog food. I'm assuming that's how Revindex Storefront came about. But so, can you unpack a little bit about what are the origins of Revindex Storefront?
Yeah, so in all the services that we've done, the businesses and the different ideas that we've played around with, there's always the component of selling things online, whether you're selling services, subscriptions, products, whether you're just accepting payments to finalize a deal on a contract. There is payment involved, and customers like to be able to pay online, sometimes with their credit card, sometimes by different means. And we needed a e-commerce system. So, and at that time, there was nothing on the DNN ecosystem that would that we thought were capable of doing that. They were either complicated, crappy, difficult to use, or buggy, right? Lots of bugs. So we went ahead and we had personally, I had a strong experience from an e-commerce standpoint. Part of my training and background from years of experience at work, we're doing e-commerce transactions and for very large companies. So I took that experience and I say, well, it's something that I can do a better job and just build a better e-commerce system and use it for ourselves, and that's how it sort of happened.
Okay, so you mentioned that there are some complexities around, actually there are many complexities around an e-commerce implementation. So is it true or correct that to say that you guys also do custom implementations of your own Revindex Storefront for clients?
Yeah, we do that too. I mean, we always get customers who are asking for something a little bit more custom. The software that we sell on its own is very, very flexible. If you play with it, you'll know that you've got custom display templates, you've got custom rules, you've got, we even sell the source code if you want. That basically allows you to do anything, right? But then if you need a hand in customizing any part of that software, we can do that for you as well. So we've done that many times for different customers where we've gone in and changed their look and feel, whether it's business rules or exceptions that they want to do in the system. We've even done like very complex systems that synchronize with different ERP databases and different systems, different fulfillment systems, and make all of them talk together. So that is all possible, and we do that, yes.
Perfect. By the way, I love the fact that you guys already have integration of Stripe. I love Stripe. I love their service. I love what those guys do there.
Really, yes. That's a high demand payment gateway there.
It is. Okay, so moving along here, I'd like to know what kind of recommendations you could give to someone that is looking to have an e-commerce solution on their DNN website, what they should be on the lookout for, what they should be, how should they try to decide between one solution or the other one. And again, just give some pointers to the audience here,
Okay, well, I think it's kind of like anything you buy for yourself or for your business. Especially software, you want to make sure that you're buying a software that can fill up those needs. So we're talking features, performance. So the basic stuff has to be there. Once you got that, You got to think of software not something that you just buy and install one time. You got to think of software as something that you buy, you install, and you're going to keep running it for many, many years. And then in those years, technology is going to change. So you want to make sure you have the ability to upgrade, and your software vendor is supporting you throughout all these years, and they're coming out with updates and upgrades and fixes and all that, so that your business keeps running. Okay, so that's very important. So by that extension, you got to make sure that you're buying from a vendor who is reliable, who's been in this business for many, many years, as we are. You want to check out their forums. You want to make sure there's a lot of activity going on, right? This is not a site that's selling a software, but then they probably abandoned that software many years ago, and now you're looking at it to buy. So that's probably not a good idea, right? And DNN has a little bit of that problem, right? So there's a lot of good software, but there's a lot of poorly supported software. So you want to separate the two. And then obviously price, don't go crazy on the price, but think in terms of your long-term investment. Don't try to save on that $50, but rather think, your total cost. Is your time more important than that $50, right? Is one bug in the system gonna take you 5 hours to troubleshoot, or is that bug going to get fixed right away from your vendor? So those are things that you want to make sure that you consider.
Very good, very good. Great pointers there. Now, this question may sound a bit obvious, but who's your target audience there particularly for Revindex Storefront?
That's a good question. I think we got today we deal with anybody, any size customer. So anyone who is looking to start a new e-commerce site, or maybe they have an existing e-commerce site and they need to modernize it. They need to improve on that. So we can help them. We've got customers who are literally moms and pops, like really moms and pops, who sell a couple of items. They might be doing that at home. And then we've got customers who have a single page where they're selling just one item, right? But they need that shopping cart to take the payments. But then we also have Fortune 500 companies. We've got government agencies. We've got businesses that are traded on the stock exchange dealing with us as well. So you can see how our software fits into the very easy, very simple to use type of scenario to the very complex enterprise customers. We made sure that our software can handle that. So yeah, anybody who wants an e-commerce system today, we can help you.
Okay. So one last question here about e-commerce in general. Which aspect of an e-commerce implementation, I know that there will be many there, but which aspect is especially challenging when someone is looking to implement an e-commerce product or an e-commerce solution for the website? Which one aspect you can say, hey, you know what, this is tricky?
I think, you know what, there is not one particular aspect, rather than the sum of everything makes it complex. Okay, because I'll tell you why. You got, I can tell you, yeah, put your products online, set up your taxes, set up your shipping. That's all fine. You could do that. But when you run and operate an e-commerce website, you got to think beyond that. You got to think in terms refunds. What happens if somebody does a refund? Am I refunding the taxes? Am I refunding the shipping? Every detail becomes important. So, and anytime any of those components break, if your shipping calculation goes wrong, if you chose a bad shipping provider, if you got your taxes calculation wrong, we're Avalara certified, by the way, so we know all about taxes. But if you get anything of those components wrong, you could not find out until end of the year when you file your taxes, and you're like, oh no, my taxes are all wrong and I just lost money on every sale that I've made. Or, you know, I'm shipping and the shipping cost is way more expensive than it should be. You know, and you're walking up to your post office and you're trying, you know, ship this box and you're like, oh my God, the shipping is more expensive than I thought. So you really got to look at, you know, the end to end. Like, think in terms of the customer, what they're feeling, right? And then think about what some of those problems that you're going to run into. It's the sum of everything. You know, there's one problem that's easy to tackle, but it's when you put all of that together and you've got volume coming in, you want this machine to be, you know, humming without any problem.
Got it. Yeah, so I guess it's really about the many moving parts that an e-commerce solution involve. Yeah, great
Yeah,
answer.
I mean, if shipping breaks, none of your sales are going to go through. You could be collecting payments, but you're not going to be able to fulfill anything. So, you know, it's like a, you know, a wheel that's broken and your car's not running at all. But that's just one wheel.
Very good, very good. So at this point, Stephen, I would like to open for you to feel free to either demonstrate the use of your main module, or to demonstrate to showcase a client's website. Again, feel free and go for it. I'm gonna minimize my screen and let you control your view there.
All right. Let me know if you see my screen.
Yes, I can.
Okay. I'm just going to remove my Christmas hat here because it's getting hot.
Go for it.
Yeah, I do have hair. Okay, so we've actually have a site that you can use for your own demo. So anyone can access this. It's basically demo.revindex.com. Okay, and you know, this is basically what it looks like. It's mobile responsive. But if you actually go to the login page, right? So you'll see the different username and passwords. So you can log in as a buyer. So someone who's shopping on the site. You can log in as a marketplace seller, because our storefront actually supports multi-vendors. So people who actually place their products to sell on your site, right? And you take a commission out of it. And you can log in as a merchant, which is the store admin. So today I'm just going to log in as a merchant, so you get to see almost everything. All right, so once you do that, you'll be able to see the storefront admin, which is right here, and I'm just going to click on that. That's going to basically bring you to the merchant interface. Okay, so right off, you're going to have a nice dashboard that's going to tell you a little bit about, you know, what's happening in your store. You know, you can look at your weekly sales, your monthly, quarterly, yearly sales. And, you know, there's a little graph here that kind of shows you the different kinds of sales activity that you have. So really, I mean, if I'm just going to run through it quickly like this, you'll see there are a ton of features in here, okay? Much more than I can actually demo today. So if I have to show you everything, it would take 3 days to do this interview. And you might like me now today, Addison, but trust me, by the end of, when I'm done showing you all of that, and that's like 3 days from now, you probably don't want to talk to me anymore.
You may want again to just explore briefly some of those, you know, that you find more worth showing.
And that's exactly what I'm going to do. So I'm going to just really quickly run through them. Address validation, that's something that we do. So customers doing a checkout, we can validate the address to make sure that it's accurate. This is important because if you're shipping, right, you want to improve your chances of shipping to the correct address. If you're running reports, you want to make sure that the addresses are good. So that when you run your reports, you know exactly who's buying from Canada, who's buying from the US, who's buying from a different state, because your addresses are being normalized. Okay, we support Google Analytics, so you can measure traffic and, you know, conversion and funnels and all that. There's a lot of configuration for the cart. We got a cart summary, which is basically I'm just going to show it to you. If I open a new tab here, it's basically a little icon here that shows you what you put in your cart. That's called a cart summary. Okay. You got obviously categories that you can configure. Channels. Channels are things like if you want to put your products to sell on eBay, we can handle that for you, right? So it makes it all easy. Checkout. We've got different configurations that you can do. We've got anonymous checkout, we've got single page checkout, multiple step checkout. You can configure who gets to check out, who's being blocked from checking out based on different conditions, different rules. You can add custom fields if you need to ask the customer to agree to a certain terms and condition on your site before they check out, so you can do that. We've got actions, basically that allows you to send out an email, contact your vendor, you know, grant the user a security role on your DNN site, call a web service. We got actions that can do that. Okay. So obviously, communication is another interesting thing that we do. So we got different email templates that you can configure. They're all in WYSIWYG format. So like, for example, this is the order receipt, and you know, you can just customize your template for your email, and that gets sent to the customer. We've got obviously a confirmation page. We do cross-selling. Cross-selling is very interesting because if you're selling toys, for example, and then at the moment of checkout, you probably want to remind your customers to buy batteries for your toy, right? So those are what we call cross-selling. It's a great way to just add that 10% revenue to your business. Okay. Currencies, we support any currencies you can imagine, basically. So we got, you know, any currency, euro, you know, any country that wants to sell, we can support you. We've even have an automatic update that can synchronize the exchange rate, okay, from different providers. Okay, whether it's a European bank, you wanna know today's rate for your exchange for that currency. You know, that system's gonna take care of that for you. So you're always selling at the best possible rate, right? You're not losing out to currency exchange. We've got display templates. So this is really if you ever want to customize any front-end aspect of your site, you can do that. You can customize the shopping cart, the product detail, the product list. So the whole thing that can be pretty much customized. Distributors, fulfillments are basically if you need to print out shipping labels, you want to have it fulfilled by a third-party fulfillment provider. Our system can take care of that. Galleries are for images. You can charge a handling fee. We got manufacturers' packages. Packages are interesting. Okay. So oftentimes you're selling things, right? But you never ship out your products as is, right? You always put it into a box before you ship it out. So you can actually define your packages here. Basically, those are your boxes, your envelopes, things that you use to contain your actual products, right? So you can define them there. And what it allows you to do is then define packing rules, right? Packing rules is basically how are you going to pack your products into those boxes, right? Are you going to put everything into one big box? Are you going to split them up into 2 boxes or 3 boxes? Are those items fragile? Maybe they need to be in a separate box. So a packing rule handles all of that. I'm going fast because there are so much to show, but you can take your time when you get onto the demo site and just play around with it, right? So we support, I think, over 50 payment gateways today. We deal from anything from checks, credit cards, PayPal, and then within the credit cards, you've got all these different payment gateways, Stripe, Blue Pay, I can't even read all of them. QuickBooks, you've got Authorize.net, the whole shebang. You got it all, basically. It's important to have that because having a lot of choices help reduce your transaction fees, right? Because you all know if you go through a payment gateway, they take anywhere from 2-3% for every charge you make. And you can actually go and negotiate for a better rate by having more choices. Okay. We also have vouchers. Vouchers are basically gift cards, gift certificates. Okay, customers can check out with those. We got reward points. Customer can also check out and pay with their points. So we take care of that. Products, product comparison. That's kind of obvious. Product detail, product filter, product list. I mean, search. Showcase. Showcase is something like if you want to have a module on your homepage and you only want to show your featured products, you can tell what those featured products are, and they will just kind of rotate them. Okay. Quick order. This is great for businesses that do a lot of B2B. They got repeating customers that come in. They know exactly what they want to order. They just put in the SKU number and they'll say, "Give me 5 of those," and they check out right away. We do subscriptions, recurring orders. We got all that. Reports. So that's interesting too because you can actually create your own custom reports. So the storefront comes with a set of standard reports. Those are fantastic. But you can go and extend that and create your own reports and do your own SQL queries and grab data and then show it on a page and have a graph that different charts and showing your sales and your revenues and all that. So reward points, I talked a little bit about that. We can do that. Risk, which is basically fraud. Okay, so there's a lot of fraud going on the internet. You want to make sure that all your transactions are being validated for any risk of fraud. We support different fraud providers that can give you a fraud score. They'll say 90% fraud is good, 10% is high risk. So then you might want to verify that order to make sure that the address is valid, the credit card is not, doesn't look suspicious. Okay. Shipping is a big piece of any e-commerce system. We support anything from custom rates, which is basically flat amount, flat rate. You can always do a custom rule, which is nice because it basically allows you to put in conditions, right? Like you can say if the package weighs more than 50 grams or 50 pounds or whatever you want it to be, charge $10. Oh, but by the way, multiply that by the number of quantity. And by the way, if it's shipping to Canada, yeah, add $10 to it. You can do all that with custom rules, okay? But we also have real-time shipping, which is very interesting. So you got Australia Post in there, you've got FedEx, we've got pretty much all of them. Shipwire Canada Post, UPS, USPS, the whole shebang is all in there. You can even do a surcharge if you want, right? So whatever that rate is being calculated to be, you can add an extra surcharge, right? So that's another feature. Here's the taxes we do. We're Avalara tax certified, but if you ever want to use a different provider, we support that. If you want to do your own personal tax calculation, we can support that too. So custom rates allows you to do VAT, flat rate that are based on where you're shipping to or where you're charging that payment to. Again, we've got custom rules that you can put in any number of conditions if you want, right? Again, if a product is selling for a certain different amount and you have tax regulations that says, well, if it's above the quantity of 12, don't charge tax. We can do all of that, okay? So it's got very flexible rules in there. And then finally, we got a wish list, which is basically birthday wish list, wedding list. So you've got all that. Then now, as a merchant, what you're going to do on a day-to-day is you're probably adding categories and you're probably setting up products, right? So in the demo, we've already set up a couple of products in here that you can actually go and play with. they vary from very simple products to very complex products in here. So for example, you've got the Apple iPad. Just to show you what it has in there quickly. So you can have any number of images you want. Okay, you can set up names, descriptions, attributes for these products, right? Just like a specifications table, you can do that. You can decide using an availability rule, when is this product available to sell. So a lot of vendors, for example, before the Apple iPad came out, they can set up this product in advance, and then they can say, well, this product starts selling on December 15, right? So you can set up rules like that. SEO, it's got basically everything. And then variants, basically, if you've got a product that has different sizes, colors, you can do that as in terms of variants. And within the variants themselves, there are actually a lot more options. So you can configure inventory, right? You can set up prices. You can modify your price based on rules, right? So a reseller gets a lower price. You know, you can give a discount if you want, right? So there are promotion rules in here. Is this product recurring? Is it not recurring? Basically, almost anything you can imagine can be handled by the storefront. Okay.
Very good, very good. Actually, I wasn't aware of that fraud detection. I found that very interesting, that fraud detection.
Yes, it is. A lot of fraud going on, especially during the busy Christmas seasons, right? So many transactions go through. The hackers, the people who fraud, they know that you don't have time to look at all of them, right? So that's where a fraud score is important, because they'll quickly tell you, you know, this particular order has a high risk of fraud, so you want to go in, and actually it's color coded. So you actually see that as red color, and you're going to say, oh, okay, you better not fulfill that one right away. You want to check it. Okay. So, and we got you know, coupons. You can do any number of coupons, promotions, anything, free shipping, free discount, buy two get one. You know, whatever you can imagine. You can manage your customers or sellers. Sales, you can manage your orders. Pretty standard. You can do a search for it. Basically, if you click on any of the sales orders, it'll tell you what the customer ordered. So in this case, someone placed an order for Eco tablet and you know, some other stuff in here. You can look at your payment that you collected, how was it paid. You can modify anything, basically, billing, shipping. You know, the customer calls you up and say, whoa, I got my address wrong. Can you correct my shipping address before it gets shipped? So sure, no problem. Do that, save it. You know, you could recalculate if you want. Payments, so, you know, if a customer paid by credit card, you can even go in there and do a refund, right? So you could do all that from the storefront. You don't have to go to a separate screen or a virtual terminal to do that. You can do it here and just go refund, okay? Coupons, rewards, so, you know, basically everything you need to get online today and start selling. It's all there. Yep.
Very good. So,
oh, I do want to say something, Addison, before I just finish up this demo. So as I told you, this is a public demo. Anybody can log in. Just click on the login page. You'll get your username and passwords, which also means that you know, sometimes you're clicking on something and that thing seems to be doing a weird, you know, it's not supposed to do. It's because someone's playing with it. So there may be more than one person on the demo site right now. But if you want to get your own personalized demo, right? If you want to have your own personalized demo, so go to the Revindex store site, www.revindex.com, and get a free trial. Okay, this is actually a free hosted trial, so you don't even have to install anything, right? Just put your name in there, you know, save it, and then we're going to send you an email, and you're going to have access to your own personal hosted free trial. Okay.
that's a very good one, because again, for users just to try a complex solution like an e-commerce solution, it's a lot to ask them to download a trial and just install by themselves. So I mean, the fact that you are bringing a ready to use test site for them, I mean, that's great. That's awesome.
Yep, yep. And you could also download the software and install it on your own DNN if you want. Okay, we have that too. That's an option for anybody who already has a DNN site running and they want to install it to see what it looks like. So you can do that too.
Perfect. So again, thank you very much for the demo there. It really showed how flexible and how many different options and Revindex Storefront has. Let me now change a little bit the focus of our conversation. It's still on the product, but let's talk about the release frequency and how you go about deciding what to release on the next version, what don't release. Can you tell us a little bit about that process that goes on?
Yeah, sure. A lot of our features that we come out with is based on customer demand. So customer tells us, oh, we would like to have this feature, and sometimes they'll sponsor for it, right? They'll sponsor, as in they'll say, can you do that, and we'll pay you a bit of money to get it out sooner. So we'll say, sure, yeah, we'll do that. But we generally have a roadmap that we follow as well, so we know where we're going, where we want to go. But then things change because I think, as I was telling you, we kind of eat our own dog food, so we use our own software, and we don't program software the same way as most other companies would. So, for example, if someone tells you, I've got a bug, I found a bug in your software, right? A lot of companies will say, yes, I recognize that bug. And I acknowledge it, and I'll put it on my to-do list. And yeah, it's going to get fixed, I don't know, maybe 6 months from now, maybe a year from now, or maybe never gets fixed. Our company is different. If you tell us there's a bug, we'll fix it right away. So all the time. So as of today, for example, we have zero bug count. We always keep it zero, okay? Which means you're always running a near perfect system. There is no perfect system, but we're trying to get there, okay? So what this means is that when or how do we choose to release something? Well, whatever makes the customer happy, right?
Got it, got it. And now again, in those same lines, you mentioned about customer feedback and input. How do you prefer to for clients to get support from you? Is that via the DN store? Do you have your own forum? Do you have a private ticketing system? How do you go about doing that?
We got all of that. So you can go to our forum, okay, and it's very vibrant. A lot of people use our forum, so it's active all the time. We've got a support ticket. You can open a support ticket. We get that too. We've got email. We've got phone. We even have a live chat on our site. So I think pretty much covers any way you want to talk to us. We're there to help you.
Got it, got it. Okay, so again, different channels. It really depends on the client's preference.
Yeah, exactly. Some customers actually prefer to open a support ticket because then they can more easily attach a screenshot, right? Of if there's something they don't know how to do, they just want to take a screenshot and email that to us. Right? Do that through a support ticket because that's a perfect way to do it, right?
Got it, got it. Okay, okay. So now let's talk a little bit about actually how do you keep yourself and your organization, your team up to date with the e-commerce trends out there? I mean, is there a publication that you follow? Is there a community forum? How do you keep yourself and your organization up to date in terms of e-commerce?
Everything, honestly, everything, because e-commerce is, as I was telling you, there's an underlying metric to e-commerce, right? If tomorrow your sales go down, because we use our own software, right? We sell and we use, and if we see that we can improve our sales by doing this, by looking at how someone else is doing it, right? From what we hear from the industry, right? Apple Pay, Walmart is coming out with their own payment system. Anything that can help improve your sales, or if your sales go down, why is it going down? You gotta listen to every possible channel. Okay, anything that comes in that can help improve your sales is a potential to do. Okay, and that's how we keep up with technology. That's how we keep up with the industry.
Got it. And again, in those same lines, what are some of those new trends in either e-commerce or technology in general that you see coming and that you feel that, hey, we need to be prepared to handle that one?
Well, a couple of big things. I mean, mobile is here. If you're not doing mobile, you're kind of late. We do that. There's Apple Pay. There's a lot of changes in terms of social. Okay, so a lot of push into how people are buying, right? Which is more a mentality change. So you're buying through your friends. You're buying through Groupons, right? We even do a subset of Groupon. Um, it's catering to all the needs, the different needs of the customer, right? Making it easy for them. And if that technology requires mobile, or if that technology requires social, or if that technology requires MVC, we're there. We'll do it for you. Okay. We don't look at technology as the decision that we want to, are we going A or B? We're looking at this technology to solve a human problem. Okay. So it's just an engineering challenge. We'll do it. Okay.
Got it. Okay, very good, very good. We're close to the end here. What is it that, again, you may or may not have that readily available, but what is it, something that people should be on the lookout for next for Revindex Storefront? I mean, is there any planned feature that you say, you know what, this will be a great feature once we release that? Is there anything in the roadmap here?
Yeah, absolutely. The next release will be about bundled products. So we're supporting bundled products. We already support a type of bundled products, but the next release will actually open up to practically any type of bundled product. So if you got the normal bundle where you're putting 2 products and you're getting a little discount on that because you're buying as a bundle, we do that. If you want to make it configurable, let's say you're buying a dedicated server, right? And you want to be able to select how much RAM, how much storage you want in there, what kind of CPU in there, take 1, take 2, automatically calculate that price. That's a bundle. Put a discount on that, bang, sell it to your customer. We can do all of that. So that'll be the next release. And then right after that one, I think it's going to be MVC all the way.
MVC, which actually it was one of the points that I didn't really go through, which is the trends with DNN as well. And again, what is the impact of that on your products?
Well, I think it's going to improve it. I really like MVC. I've kind of been waiting for it, and all that we've ever done in the past, we've always prepared for MVC. We've always separated all our data layer, business layer. I'm talking technical here, okay? And it was always that front end that was kind of waiting for MVC to come into DNN. And now that it's coming, and it's going to happen, and it's going to happen more next year. We're going to switch our front end to MVC. So
perfect.
It's exciting.
Exciting. It will be a great 2016 that we have in front of us. So we're coming to an end here. I would like to ask if there is anything else that we had mentioned that you'd like to talk about, that you'd like to mention, anything that was not covered that you'd like to talk about.
Well, I think if anybody wants to try the storefront before end of the year, we have a special coupon. Okay, that will give you a 15% discount. It's valid until December 31st, maybe January 1st. I can't remember. Okay, the keyword is storefront. Okay, storefront. If you don't know how to spell that, go check out our website. Look at the product. Spell it as it is. Storefront. That's gonna give you 15% discount. All right.
Perfect. So thank you very much for the discount there, and Stephen, thank you very much for coming this in kind of a last minute thing. Again, I appreciate the fact that you took time away from your Christmas commitments, and it's 1 week away from Christmas. So again, I'm sure that you are very busy there. Again, I really appreciate the fact that you took the time to do this interview with me. Okay.
You're welcome, Edison. It was a pleasure speaking to you, and I will now head back to my shopping list. Get some shopping done.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Stephen. Pleasure.
All right. You too. Bye-bye.